The Dow Jones Industrial Average and other major indices closed near their lows of the day as the China trade war fears sparked again. The key indices had opened higher and extended their gains before dropping sharply toward the end of the day as CNBC and Reuters reported that China trade officials cut their U.S. visit short and will not visit farms next week as planned. Well, there goes all my farm plans. In other news, Marco, watch out for that hurricane coming your way. In other news, the New York Federal Reserve Bank said Friday it will inject billions into the U.S. financial system on a daily basis for the next 3 weeks in an effort to prevent a spike in short-term interest rates. The Fed will reportedly offer up to $75 billion a day in repurchase agreements. So, starting next week, I'm going to keep looking at my checking account to see if anything new has been deposited there. Well, I'm hopeful. In other news, Demi Moore had a threesome. No, I wasn't invited. Bummer. In other news, the attack on Saudi Arabia oil facilities doesn't seem to impact anything because there's too much oil anyway. Another bummer. In other news, Democrats are looking into bombshell allegations that Trump and aides sought to pressure Ukraine into helping the president's reelection bid. Apparently, nobody thought this might lead to an investigation where then Vice President Biden, on video, claimed credit for pressuring Ukraine to short circuit an investigation into his son. Ooh, another bummer. Oh, and this just in, the Washington Post just reported, quietly, oh, so very quietly, that the phone call from Trump to Ukraine did not contain any quid pro quo. Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's going to get another Twitter thrashing. Well, I'm trying to find something that's going to impact the markets, but I seem to be failing. Not even quadruple witching did anything significant. All right, it's boring. Let's go take a look at the charts. Okay, today I'm going to look at two charts, beginning here with the iShares Russell 2000 ETF. The symbol is IWM. We're looking at the Russell 2000 because that's the laggard of the indices. So if this index can put it together, get its act together and head up, then it's going to confirm what the other indices are showing, which is that maybe the market's going to head up. But until this does, I think we're going to be on hold. And as we can see in the chart, with the exception of this downtrend here, when you take a look at this here, and it's not a very good parallel lines there, but it's a channel, more or less. We've been trading sideways, more or less. Let's go on to the MAC, see what that shows. And you can see here that in this downtrend, the fast line is trying oh so hard to turn and base and then hopefully head up through the slow line and confirm the other indices, but it hasn't been able to do it yet. But we still have a little bit of power. It's still above the zero line, so it still has time, and that's what it's going to take, is time. It shows here in the histogram that it's making the attempt. Things are improving, but oh so slowly. And here in the price rate of change, again, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's trying to bottom, maybe not unlike here. It's trying, but I think it's just going to take more and more time. Relative strengths at a moderate 52.25. That's above the 50 line, but not by much. Into the stochastics, it is also above the 50 line, but not by too much. It's trying, but it hasn't been able to elevate off of that base. Here into the volume looks fine. And then the Williams is showing, again, perhaps a little bit more improvement than the other oscillators. But as of yet, it's bouncing off that 50 or midline, heading on up, but it's not doing it in a very strong manner. So we kind of have to just sit, watch, and wait. There's some trepidation in this index. So we'll keep our eye on it because if this can break out of this channel line, then things may head for blue sky. Now let's go take a look at the daily chart on the Russell 2000. And now we're looking at the 1-year daily chart on the iShares Russell 2000. And as you can see here, there's a general trend, say sideways. You could argue sideways. You could also argue with a slight decline. I'm going to just say, look, this thing is going sideways for the most part. And my lines aren't straight, but look, this is a cursor. Don't punish me too bad. But for the most part, when the market gets up to this upper level, it gets reflected back down. It did it once, twice, you could say three, maybe four times, and then here, currently, we just hit it more or less, and we could be on our way down. Nothing is ever straight, so we may have a reprieve into next week for a few days or so, but I think the probabilities show that we're heading on down, and you can see that here in the MAC with the level of the fast line heading on down. There is a separation between the fast line and the slow line right there. So anything can happen. We can still have a reflection that would perhaps bring us back up again, such as occurred in these two times here. And that is a possibility, but I think the greater probability is overall we're probably heading on down, indicated by the histogram as well. We can get a reflection as we did there, perhaps as we did there. That may bring us back up for a few days or so, but I think the greater probability is we're on our way down into the price rate of change. That also says the fast line moved through the slow line, wants to head down like that, and somewhat like that. So I would have that expectation in mind. So just be patient and watch that occur. If it does, stochastics also shows that we topped out heading on down. Again, nothing is a straight line, even when stock market gravity does take hold. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go straight down. There in the Williams, looks like that line is heading down to that midline or 50 line, and things are weakening across the board. Back here, again, the key, the Russell 2000 in my mind, if that index can gain the power and momentum to break out above this level here, perhaps that will confirm the other indices and maybe they can head up and head for blue skies. But it looks like that is a dream being put off here for at least another month or so. So we're just going to have to wait and watch and see what happens. Just be patient and let's just let this market evolve. And so for today, that's ChewDog Charts. Thank you.